Today, Congress getting back to work on tax reform after passing the biggest cuts in your taxes in decades. But as the House and Senate head to conference, there are many differences to reconcile to deliver by Christmas. So what can we expect? Here to weigh in is House Majority Leader, Congressman Kevin McCarthy. Leader, I know you're very pumped up about this after being deflated after what happened with the repeal and replace. But have you named your conferencees yet?
No, we will vote today. And the House was not supposed to be in session today. We were coming in tomorrow, but I called us back because we wanted to act decisively and get this done. So we will have a motion to go to conference today, vote on that tonight, and then we will name our conferees. The Senate will do the same this week, and we will get to work on the differences. There's not a lot of differences, but there are some, and we'll come to a common ground and get it done.
Look, it was over 400 pages, but we drilled down to some of these bullet points I think the people at home would really appreciate. So let's put that up right now, and some of the 7 differences with the GOP tax bills. Now, you just told me in the break, the one thing that you'll grab from the Senate is the ACA individual mandate repeal, correct?
Yes, I think that's very positive. I mean, remember what that is. That punishes people for not buying something they don't want. So why would you tax them on that?
All right, next.
And that's been able to pass the Senate.
Right, so look, you'll say, hey, that's fine with us, and you won't have any problem. Okay, so that's done. Now, on the top rate, you're at 39 still. They dropped to 38. What are you thinking?
I would actually like to go lower on a personal basis. I don't think you should punish people for being successful. But they have 7 rates. We have 4. We'll work that out. I would always go to a lower rate.
Right. You said on the AMT, the alternative minimum tax, you say that there's an issue there. Tell me what your problem is.
Well, in the House, you eliminate it. Think for one point here. If you're in California or if you're in New York, that's a real punishment as you go forward. And we eliminate SALT. And one of the arguments was we'll eliminate the alternative minimum tax. I think that has to be repealed out of it. But the Senate also put it in when it came to corporations. That would also eliminate, if you kept it in there, the research and development benefit that you're getting on the tax credit going forward. So I think the AMT has to be eliminated altogether.
Wow. Now, the president talked over the weekend about possibly, in order to get additional revenue, putting the corporate tax cut, which is going to be significant regardless, up to 22%. He needs some more, freed up some money for Marco Rubio and others who want more money for a child tax credit and for mortgage interest credit.
Well, one thing I think, that's showing how good this president is. He is actually showing that he's going to get a deal done because he's telling us, I'll be flexible. I just want to make this thing happen. But we're both at 20%. I think that makes America more competitive. And when you look at the report, keeping it at 20% actually brings $4,000 into the household. So the individual wins on that. I would like to try to keep that low.
All right, so we'll see that. And so we'll see if that can stay at 20. The president originally wanted 15. And real quick, on the 7 brackets as opposed to the 4 brackets, where could you tell our audience to look for as you try to compromise on that?
Well, I always think the simpler the better, but to me, the most important thing is what that rate number is and where that income level is. So if I had to go for a higher number of brackets, but I got a lower rate, I think I could get there.
All right. Now, there's other major story out there today, of course, is what is Mike Flynn coming in and taking a plea? What does it mean to the big picture? Then we find out about an FBI agent who did the interview with Hillary Clinton, who released the 35,000 emails and said there was nothing there when they found Anthony Weiner's laptop, was part of the Mueller investigation. It turns out they found in text, him texting his feelings of hate towards Donald Trump and plus for Hillary Clinton to a woman he's having an affair with in the FBI. So as this comes out, he's now removed and put into human resources. What can you tell us about Mr. Stroke?
Well, that raises a lot of questions. And remember, it's not the FBI looking at this as well. The House has an investigation and the Senate does. And they all should be separate. The House Intel Committee, under Chairman Nunes, actually requested and had a subpoena to communicate with this individual just to ask questions back in August, and he's never been before them. It's interesting why he's never come before them, because this person is so critical in, one, interviewing Hillary Clinton, that conclusion? Why did they even start this investigation? We now know this dossier is not true in the aspect and paid for by Democrats. It just raises so many more questions that I think people need to come forward in this investigation and follow through if they've been subpoenaed to answer them, so we get the real answers.
Do you agree with the president that there's been a lack of trust under James Comey's FBI, and that's going to change under him?
Well, remember what we found at the very beginning. When they started hiring people for this investigation, we found that even in the FBI, they've been political, and they were giving money to many Democrats. And now this report comes out, and I know I read somewhere that the AIG, our investigation, was looking at all those individuals, and that report's coming forward. I think that's where they found this FBI agent sending those emails. So I think what's most important, let's have this independent investigation that's in the House and also in the Senate, and let's have people come before them and answer the questions.
Yeah, when are you guys going to be done in the House?
For tax, we're going to get done very quickly.
What about, I'm talking about the investigation on this?
Well, I think that'd be a question up for the Intel Committee, seeing how much more. But if they can't get the individuals before them, it makes the investigation go on longer. I think people would want to wrap this up already.
Majority Leader Kevin McCarthy, optimistic he'll get something done by Christmas and already telling us where there's areas of compromise. Thanks so much, sir.
Hey, thank you. And tell Rachel hi. You know, she's Congress's favorite Duffy.
Right, I know.
Husband, but
Kevin
like
really
Rachel
wears on you,
more.
right? He's a bit of a troublemaker.
That's Sean. Sean's a little tough.
Yeah, Sean Bray. I'm thinking of somebody else. All right, thanks so much. Appreciate it.
All right, take care.
All right, still ahead. Even more trouble at the VA. This time, a hospital-hired convicted felon